And the horse that wraps up that opening, we'll see in action coming up on Sunday in the Steady Growth Stakes. And we're looking forward to bringing you that. And as Robert said, La Prevoyant, as well as we have 3 cards of racing to go this season here at Woodbine, joined by Elisa Blow. My name is Jeff Bratt. Robert spoke of the fact that we're very sprint heavy on today's program of racing. And I was thinking last night when I was watching the finale, probably a good thing we froze the jackpot high five because it was a 38-1 winner, uncharacteristic, that got up on the last jump. First winner for that stallion.
Was it the first one? I was thinking that, yeah. After us saying, you know, we haven't really been impressed by these Carricks yet this season. But what a great way to wrap things up. And I know Bev has some more horses left to go, but still, you know, for Bev Chubb and for Juan Crawford, who they just stick together, right? Year in, year out. Juan had winners on the program on Sunday, and he wraps it up with a big long shot in the last yesterday.
Hall of Famer Sid Attard had a fantastic day at the office as well. He was the only person to double up on the program yesterday, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, all the jocks kind of got themselves into the winner's circle, including Christoph Douglas. So that was his second riding victory of his career, and that was in the first on the program. But there were some nice trips yesterday. The one that impressed me the most was One Happy Rabbit. I mean, that was an amazing trip from that horse under Sky Chinese.
I think you really have to do some replay watching for future purposes, because there were a lot of horses that did not handle the kickback all that well last night, and it should be better today with it being a little bit warmer. So hopefully that is going to be the situation, and you know, because obviously, you know, like for a first-time starter or an experienced horse, they're probably saying, "What the heck is going on here?" And some will run through it anyways. You know, it just look like people, right? Just different people. Do different things, and horses are exactly the same way when it comes to that as well. But really no distinct bias. Obviously, if you ask me, I would stay on the rail 99.9% of the time.
But then we had horses winning on the outside yesterday as well. And, you know, like you said, tonight, I think, like, I'm just a little concerned about what I see, because it's a little bit gray out there.
That's further north.
Because they are calling for some snow, but I think it's overnight, so we should be able to avoid it tonight. And hey, thanks to everybody who played the game yesterday, man, because, boy, it was tough sledding.
Jackpot High Five, mandatory payout taking place tomorrow here at Woodbine, and we have a massive pool that is frozen at $269,656.92. We have a 10-horse race in the nightcap that makes up that Jackpot High Five, and we have our expert High Five handicapper handicapping right now, and that is Robert Geller. He's going to tell us some strategies from his point of view when it comes to playing Jackpot High Five. We were not asked for that, because Robert's success rate in the Jackpot High Five is significantly higher.
We hit the pick 4 yesterday, though.
And I'll tell you, we are flush.
Well, I don't owe him any money, let's put it that way. I've cleared my debt off.
That was fairly formful. There were some unformful stuff on the program, but for the most part, the pick 4 was very formful. Quiet Madalena to wrap up that race. Wrapped up the pick 4 just so fast out of the starting gates. Okay, let's get the clock going. Time to put Elisa to work. And,
this is my last time of the year, too.
Your last time as analyst.
I mean, I'm going to be over at in Harness Land, but I'll just leave that up to Randy.
That's right. Well,
which is scary.
You know, in all seriousness, though, we kind of have to do that because we have to get back into the rotation of watch. It's hard for us to watch both breeds at the same time.
Well, and the other thing, too, is once we're there for a couple of weeks, we'll get into the rotation, because it's so different than it is here. You know, you see the same horses, you know, week in, week out.
So I'm taking a shot with this Midnight Sadie, or Sadie, although it's way over bet right now at 3 to 5. I didn't know what to do with Love Puddles, not only because of the drop, you have that vet scratch for Main 15 on November the 30th, and now back here as well. And there's no Raffi, it's Flores, although it's a good jockey-trainer combo. Like, how do you handle a horse like a Love Puddles?
Well, I think the thing was that probably a lot of us were going to look at this Georgia Rain, who ends up being the vet scratch here, and then it makes it really difficult to put 4 horses into your ticket. I found it made it really hard, because, you know, I ended up scratching onto the one. Actually, I had sent the one in originally. The one was the horse I had sent in originally. You know why? Because we canceled after the races on November the 9th. That was that day that Thundermaker was the only horse
we
to
swept
race.
The card on that day.
Right, and remember the track had a lot of kickback, and you just spoke about that. Some horses hate it, some horses will run through it, and if you're 2 years old, I bet you're a little bit shy about that. So, you know, I say we give him a mulligan for that last race, and now he comes back for $25,000 with Flores, and Flores and DeRusso are pretty good as well. I'm kind of banking on DeRusso's numbers with 2-year-olds this year, the fact that he's 29% with his youngsters, and it's actually a solid jockey trainer combination. So I'll give the horse a pass because we know what the track was like the last time this horse has run. And since then has come back and worked to half and 50. Now, the second horse for me gets bumped up, and that's Midnight Sadie for Norm McKnight.
That's what I like.
Yeah, this is the first time starter. And now it's interesting that you like this horse because the most recent work is a handily work. And I know you're not crazy about those. But this one is related to some horses, including La Belva that races around these parts for Gord Colburn and is a decent sprinter.
I mean, the bottom line is this: I just don't love the vet scratch with love puddles and the drop. Now, some of these Desero droppers have won, and some have been not very good.
They're 50-50, I would say.
Exactly.
But I mean, tell me who else you like. That's kind of the problem.
I mean, I don't mind the Hayashi horse. Holiday Cost looks okay.
First time starter.
From the same as Silent Mistake, when the Victorian Queen is a 2-year-old. But I mean, you look at Stella Point, did nothing second time out. First General Nakayo, all of a sudden shows up as a first-time gelding. Didn't run very well, and all of a sudden
it's hard to find the fourth horse.
No, I know, for sure. Race number 1 to start off the program coming up in about 46 minutes from now. Let's get to the second now. Non-winners of 3 coming up in this race. I find at this time of the year, it's hard to be overly confident about particular horses.
Of course.
But I really, really like a horse in this race.
I think I know who it is.
I'm really hoping that you're with me because your opinion matters to me, Lisa.
Well, if you look at this race closely, because first I was like, oh, circle that one, it's out of condition. Oh, circle that one, it's out of condition. There's 4 horses in this race that are skipping a condition. Okay, so I thought logically you go with the horses that fit the condition.
For sure.
And the horse that fits the condition and looks good in here is Love You, Miss You, Mean It. You on it? All right.
That's the one I like.
That's the Jamie Begg horse. Comes out of a win, third place effort against Tea and Honey with an E, who was a Mike Mattini trainee that had a nice win. It's a good jock trainer combination. We've seen this barn have a lot of success together this year. So it's the 3 for me, and then the 6, Miss Pierre. I know she, is taking a pretty big drop. But I guess for in against the likes of these, she kind of fits. I'll see her with the drop and with Flores, what they're able to do. The 4-horse Remarkably Human is the only horse that I'm using, and you're doing the same thing. That's actually skipping the condition. Well, you're using Varana as well, but so obviously there was like a nominators of 2, probably for $15,000 or so that didn't go, and they got pushed into here instead.
Yep, exactly. Either race to this or go home.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
kind of your
I shouldn't
option,
say pushed. I mean, they got iffed.
Yeah, they got iffed into here. Miss Pierre, they're changing everything off of Lasix. Blinkers going on, new rider today. Sometimes these Coriat horses can have huge form reversals.
They can.
But I like the 3, Love You, Miss It, Mean It. And the horse took a lot of early money last time out and then started to float up a little bit there. In race 2, that will start off pick 5, pool guaranteed at $50,000. I am in such a good mood today.
I know, because it's the last Friday for you.
There's
TGIF for real.
The holidays are right around the corner.
He's changed his profile picture on Facebook if you'd like to see that.
Yes, I have. I am now part of a famous movie. That's all you need
a famous Christmas movie, yes.
Let's get to race number 3. Dog. Okay. Now, I don't know how.
I don't know where we're going with this one either.
Dog. I don't know what that means.
Me neither.
So.
Oh, the underdog. Oh, that's why. Because, when we send in our top 4 picks. One of mine is Shaku Maku today. I think he's the underdog in this race, and I'd love to see him win because he's a family horse for the Aldersons, and this would make Christmas merry and bright if this horse was able to get to the winner's circle today. Now, there are some questions with him. Obviously, he has had a little bit of a break. He hasn't raced since November the 2nd, so was this I don't know if Tony, did this on purpose, if he kept the horse, maybe training on the wheel or something in Fort Erie, because I don't know. I don't believe that he did work here on November 22nd, so maybe they shipped him up here and he's been training here, but he's just a cool horse. Like, when I think of cool horses, I think of Bachelor Pad, I think of Shaku Maku, because he can do anything. You can race him on the turf, you can race him on the synthetic, you can race him against quarter horses, you can race him on the dirt. He's just super cool. So at a price, I'm going to use Shaku Maku, and then I'll use the 6, Love You Lippy. I mean, this barn had a good day yesterday. The horse has been a solid reference for a lot of others that we've seen that have won. I think the 6 is the logical horse. I just want to, at this time of year, when it's all about your family, I just want to cheer for the fam here.
And you know what? Love You Lippy's going to do exactly what Shakumaku does. And they're going to try to hook it up here a little bit. Now, Love You Lippy might be able to clear. If they don't, then it's going to set up for like an LL Cran. Although I don't know about 5/8 with that horse. Do you think it was just a bounce last time out? Like, that was a huge regression.
It wasn't his regular race. But then again, he was facing the likes of Bachelor Pad. And I mean, we know how good he is. Yeah. I just, like to say, I like Jeffrey Alderson's a great kid. But when you're riding for your dad and riding for your family, it's a whole new perspective and a whole new purpose. So I just, go on, Shaku. Go get him.
Alderson will be lined up in the gate with that one. So that is the dog. Pick 4. I know what this one means. Early pick 4. And we're going to go 3/4 of a mile in here. Okay, I know Raffy's good, Elisa. Like, I realize that. And I realize, you know, he'll move up some horses. But holy smokes, a total sensation. Ever move up last time, though. Now, how do you interpret the race placement? Like, this is aggressive. Like, you and I, for 25, we'd be like, okay.
All right.
But for 10?
Yeah, I know. I guess they just want to win. And you know what? The fact that Hernandez is back aboard makes me feel good. Like, if they were coming back for 10 and they were putting a rider on, you're like, I don't know about this one. Now, you're saying, why isn't Salvis riding the horse? Well, he's on days. So he'll come back on the Sunday program. So he picks up a really strong horse in this spot. I can't see why this horse can't repeat. Should be one of the speed players in this race. Will likely try and steal the race on the front end. I mean, Drake Drive might have something to say about that as far as the early speed is concerned. Field Hockey is a horse who showed a little bit of early zip last start out. Same with Alfred Bellows, who will likely get play here as well. This is the Cassie horse with an outside draw here. He's got the 10 hole in field of 11. And don't go back on your word as a clocker horse who comes back now as a new gelding.
Yes, and has not seen action since August the 8th. Warren Crawford has been the one consistent with this one. What do you make of Drake Drive all of a sudden? And I didn't notice this until I looked at the overnight. No hind shoes with this horse for the first time.
Today?
Yeah.
Oh, that's an interesting move.
Yeah.
There's got to be a reason behind it.
Double check that in a program just to make sure that is 100% accurate. Drake Drive. Yep, no hinds.
Well, it's not like, hey, I'm sure he has a reason for doing
now
it.
You could have a sensitive hoof. You could maybe think that, you know what, the horse, you know, the synthetic, you know, might not be, he might be getting better traction without the shoe on. I don't know.
You know, some people are fine with it. When
a lot of people race on synthetic with no shoes.
Right, with no shoes. It was kind of a thing for
Remember the Standardbreds, the trotters?
What's that now?
There's a bunch of Standardbred people that will take the shoes off for the trotters. A lot of the Swedish people.
Oh yeah?
And they'll race barefoot.
Well,
yeah.
Well, you're just teaching me something new, because I was thinking, remember when we first put this track in? And there were a lot of people that tried racing without shoes. And some horses did very well.
And I don't know, like when it gets colder, do you need the shoes? Do you not need the shoes?
I would think, I would think, you know, you need something to push.
Traction.
But
yeah, I don't know. And I'm not a horse expert. Do you get more power from the back end or you get more power from the front end?
I always think you get it from the hind end. That's where the motor is.
Same. That would be my thinking as well. Kind of like the little caddies, the rear-wheel drives. Did you remember those in the wintertime? I remember my parents had to put like extra things of salt in the trunk just to...
Dude, you were driving around in a caddy, okay?
Yeah, that's a big change.
I was driving around in a Buick Skylark that had mice in the back seat.
We didn't have a caddy when I was younger.
Okay.
I'm just saying we had a rear-wheel drive car when we were younger. Listen, this is a kid that sat in the back portion of the station wagon with no seatbelts when I was younger.
That's true.
Anyways,
that's true.
Stumble time. Let's talk about, we've seen some stumblers.
Oh, yes.
And we're going to have a replay here coming up in race number 6 on the day, going 7/8 a mile, 15,000 claimers, non-winners of 3. So who in this race, Ms. Elisa, did not get out of the gate all that effectively?
Okay, it is Tutte Contente who we're going to take a look at. And it's kind of a weird replay. You're going to be like, why are we watching this so much? But I just want to show you this because watch this. I mean, he stumbles pretty good out of the gate back on the 15th, right to his nose.
That's
you know,
good.
We've seen a few of those this year, and I think it takes a little. First, you got to make sure they're 100%. Like you're like, oh man, is his front end okay? You know, that sort of a thing, because they stumble, right?
Yep.
Now, you can see here too that Fukumoto's got a pretty good hold on this horse now. So we're going to kind of forward it up a bit, and you're going to see he's at the back of the bus, but. What's interesting on this trip here is that he's got a great rail position. and he starts to move up the rail, and you're thinking, Golden Rail, do you think we can make up this much ground? I mean, Shadow Realm is going to be the eventual winner. Rapid Grey, you're going to see that horse come back and compete on the closing day program. And then instead of sticking with the rail, which he might have been able to, they end up kind of coming to the outside here, and then the 6 kind of gets in his way, and then he has to get even further to the outside. Like, I just think from start to finish, it's a race that you kind of go,
no, that's a great replay, because the one was stopping right in his face.
Yeah,
so I think that's why he had to go
and then
outside.
Another horse kind of got in his way. So if you add it all up, like they say, bad things and good things can happen in threes, and that was his 3 that he had in that race. So I think Tutti Contente comes back here and gets, if with a clean trip, puts himself in a really good position to win for Bob Tiller. They're dropping him in for $15,000. It's an all-time low price tag. I did use Got Me Good. You know Got Me Good's going to be going to the front end, right?
He got stung the entire way last time.
And they're cutting him back today from traveling around 2 turns to go 7/8, which is something he's only done once before in his career. So now on the main track, I can say. But I used him, obviously the 5, and JMR Speedy Escape. This barn, just keep your eye on this barn. That horse that won yesterday, boy, like I said, she was shot out of a cannon. That was Quiet Madalena in the 7th race yesterday.
Yeah, able to pull off the victory there. JMR Speedy Escape doesn't win very often, but a lovely check.
Yeah, we should be there for a piece of it.
Caught. All right. Race number 7, going 3/4 of a mile. Main optional 25,000 claimers in here. And who got caught?
Well,
did somebody get caught with their cookie in the hand in the cookie jar?
Well, no, but there's a word I would use to refer to this horse's style, and you're going to see it when you watch this replay of Speedy Connection. So Speedy Connection is up on the front end. Now this is Dixon, Colebrook, Gaskin. How many times in the last 2 weeks have we seen this combo give us wins at big, big odds? Some of them are 30-1, some of them are 10-1. They're big winners, so I'm going back to them today. But watch when he kind of turns for home. Here's the word I'm going to use to describe his style. He is a lumbering type of individual. One-paced horse, doesn't really go any faster and doesn't really go any slower. Look at him right there. He's like, da-dum, 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 da-dum. It's perfect, right? Now, of course, a style like that is vulnerable because you got horses that are going to close, and look at the size of, say, the 1 compared to the 2. The 1 who was the eventual winner, Paradise Perfect, I think was dropping in,
you're right.
and then this horse ended up finishing in 2nd. Now, am I concerned about the cutback? Does he look like a sprinter to you? Not really. He looks to me like a horse who eventually, maybe they'll try going around 2 turns, but the barn is so hard to ignore, we said this last week when we left Pat Dixon out of a pick 4, that you and I were like, should we or shouldn't we? And we left him out, and we ended up getting Dixoned, as we refer to it now. So Speedy Connection, not so much speedy, but that lumbering type, they can get it done. So I went that way because I think you'll look at some other horses in this race, like say the 2. You know what I learned about the 2-horse Padraig in that most recent start? I think he likes to be on the front end. I don't think he likes to be in behind horses. Yeah,
and lost to a dropper on Trip Aces, and that's what happened to your horse. Speedy Connection lost to a dropper as well. Be Me, I think the drop's too late for Be Me.
Yeah.
That's just me. This horse has been for 40 the entire year, and I was in for 25, so I'm going to try and beat that one. What do you make of Chris's other horse, who I actually like a little bit more, the Spike Phil? I know you don't have the horse anywhere, but that was a pretty good run last time out and a good figure.
Yeah, I was kind of torn between him and Good to Be Lucky, which is the Phil Hall horse. They're coming out of the same race. If Alfred Bellows happens to win earlier on, it'll give us a good reference there on that one. But I used the 5 instead at the bottom, but they're interchangeable, I think.
10K CL. People are watching the show for the first time are like, what the heck does that mean? You can explain it. These are horses that are going to be sold for $10,000 if somebody wants to buy them. And they are looking for their first win, thus the title of Maiden. A long-acting. I find that the long-acting stuff that you take when you're like have a cold.
Yeah.
It's not really long acting.
No, it is. It's slow release. That's what the whole point is that you get more out of it. It lasts longer.
I ain't buying it. I ain't buying it. I ain't buying it at all. well. And I'm going to try and beat long acting. Are you on team long acting or are you going elsewhere?
I went elsewhere. I didn't even use the horse.
I got the horse third.
I got the 10 all day long. You and me,
same.
baby, because, we got back-to-back third place efforts. You get that Trip Ace Paradise Perfect. You just saw the horse actually in that replay that I showed you for Speedy Connection. This is third start off of a layoff. The barn obviously has had a good campaign. I wonder if Bill's still here or if he's down looking at palm trees. Because the other day when we saw him, we were like, are you missing the palm trees? He says, in 6 hours, I'll see them. Now, I wonder if he's gone down, maybe set some things up and come back. I guess we'll see if we have him here tonight. But Wilson's aboard on that one. So I went 10 and then 5, switching to Glide, which is Tiller's horse. Now, he does switch up riders today and go to Austin Adams, which is interesting because he doesn't use Austin Adams very much. Then the 7, Halcon Negro, who, has actually kind of been getting a little better, dare I say, in the last few races. And we don't need to worry about a 5th pick in this race because there's no jackpot high five.
Funny, I sent in 5, but one of them scratched. So I was like, got my bases covered. Yeah, because I had this kicking horse pass, I think, for 4th or something like that. But so Crawford goes towards the best Chubb horse in this spot. And
I think we understand that.
As well. Yeah, definitely does make sense there. So let's look at race number 9 on the program. We do offer Superfecta wagering. Again, we'll have the mandatory payout coming up on tomorrow's card of racing as well. So 7/8 to wrap it up. The 9th race going off at 8:37 Eastern Time. Plays of the day. Hopefully by the time we get to 8:37, Elise says 4 for 4 with her plays of the day.
Ooh, that would be good.
I don't know if that's possible. I don't know if you have one in the last or not. Do you have one in the last?
I can't quite remember what I have.
Find out right now.
I mean, I got a reminder that I have Shaku Maku. Oh yeah, I love that horse in the last race today. Yeah. So Shaku Maku at a price. So that's why I put win place, just in case. Total Sensation, I mean, come on. We've got to figure that the horse looks good there. Tute Contente, I showed you that replay from this horse. Just a clean trip. That's all I'm asking for. And maybe we'll find Bill Theranis in the winner's circle in the last race.
Do we have some similarities? Ooh, we are going to find out.
Total Sensation.
2.
And
You and Me Baby.
Yep.
So Well Spotted has got me good, although I wish it was a route. Love You, Miss It Mean, it's going to be my best bet of the day. So 3, 1, 1, and we'll toss in a 10 as well. Let's see what Woodbine TV Prod and the rest of the gang are going towards. Ella LeCran, they're going to try and beat the fave in that one. Ron going towards Monday Morning with his best bet of the day. And Switzerland Jam, who's been fantastic as of late. That's where Doug's going to go with his play of the day coming up in race number 8. Do you remember this thing that we used to have at Woodbine called turf racing?
Vaguely.
Vaguely. It was a good time. It was when the temperatures were far more...
But Jeff, do you remember when we had 2 turf courses?
I do. In fact, when we come back, we are going to highlight action on both turf courses as we look back at some of the great turf performances that we saw this season at Woodbine.
Love horse racing? HPIBet.com is Canada's leader in online horse betting. Access thousands of live races from hundreds of tracks worldwide instantly. Enjoy the most advanced betting tools like AI Smart Picks and exclusive cashback rewards you won't get anywhere else. Join today and get up to $100 in free bets. Get the ultimate horse betting experience with HPIBet.com.
So it seems like here at Woodbine, it's a non-stop construction zone. There's always construction going on somewhere. And now the big project is the E.P. Taylor Turf Course. And they're going to have it hopefully intact for racing next September here at Woodbine for our big races. But this season was a little bit different because we had to move some of our big races to the Bet 365 Inter Turf Course. However, one of the last big turf races that we had on the E.P. Taylor Turf Course is one of my favorites, that being E.P. Taylor itself. And we attracted a big name in this one, Elisa, and this is She Feels Pretty, and she used this race as a stepping stone to finish second in the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Turf.
You know what? I think that's the most excited I've ever seen you this year was when you saw the overnight and you found out that She Feels Pretty was coming to Toronto, because we weren't sure if she was going to come here or not. And then it was such a wacky trip, remember, too, because she got stepped on, and she was looking a little PO'd in the race as well. But and Johnny Velasquez, like, you got to interview Johnny Velasquez, you got to talk to Sherry DeVoe, like, that had to be one of the highlights for you this year.
Race of the year for me. It's because the Godolphin horse ran so well there too. And the fact, like, she had her breakthrough performance here at Woodbine in the Natoma as a young horse. And then she came back, obviously, E.P. Taylor, and able to pull off the victory there. Now the Bet365, wow, that was a tight finish. Bet365 Summer Stakes. You know, this guy could be champion 2-year-old boy. This would be an Argos. You know, he ran here twice, so he's eligible for a Sovereign Award.
Good. Okay. Yeah, he was pretty cool. So this is the summer, and the summer was actually a really loaded field, right? There were some really good horses.
It was a mess that first turn.
And, you know, that was something we were concerned about with a lot of, you know, and even, not even that. We heard that from a lot of riders, too. Remember saying, like, it took me a while to figure out how to ride that first turn. Like, the riders that were coming in from maybe the United States or Europe. But Argos getting the win there, and that was Riley Mott and Flavian Pratt who was aboard for the victory. But that was a really cool race. The summer was a good one this season.
Yeah, it was good. And then we got to the Johnny Walker Natoma, and this was Corsia Valache that was able to pull off the victory here for, you know, some owners that have been involved in Canadian racing for a long, long time. Perfect trip engineered here by Fraser Abley, his first Grade 1 win. Unfortunately, she got hurt after this race, but we look forward to seeing her back next season.
Yeah, she was in a Win and You're In event, and that was so exciting because, you know, not only for Fraser and Josie and the connections, but for us here at Woodbine, because we were so excited to cheer her on down there. She's been a 2-time stakes winner this season. You know, hopefully we see her back next year. But she's the only local runner that won one of these big events. I mean, every other replay we're taking a look at are all, you know, American horses, European horses, but this was the local horse that made us proud.
Yeah, never lost a race. 3 for 3 this season.
Pretty cool.
And, you know, when it comes to Sovereign Award voting, the fact that she won a Grade 1, that's going to go a long, long way. And listen, 2-year-olds don't typically win Horse of the Year honors, but there's no real front runner for Horse of the Year when it comes to this season, so she's obviously going to be a contender. Now we're going to get to the Rogers Woodbine Mile, and yet again, not only does this produce a great finish, but it produces a future Breeders' Cup winner yet again.
Right. So William Buick was here to ride that day for Godolphin, and watch this horse. Look at this kick from this horse on the outside. Notable speech. Wow. I mean, this horse was just determined to get it done. And again, you know, on a different turf course than where we would normally be running the mile. Obviously, it's a race that we have year after year on the EP, and same thing, you know, which is this horse really, wow, shot out of a cannon again.
And great ride on that day from Buick too, because he got away slowly in the 2-2-year-old races, but he hustled this horse up on the first turn to stay close.
He might have been the rider that said that. That said, you know, it took me a while to figure out that first turn. There was somebody that you interviewed that said that, I believe.
And then Salawi, who we all thought would stop, who we all thought would have a different rider. The rider's plane didn't make it to Woodbine, so this was a pickup mount, and the horse didn't stop.
This was actually really cool. Went gate to wire. Now, we weren't familiar with the trainer at all.
He had one with Mohammed earlier.
Al-Jamin, right? And so, you know, they were really pumped to be in the winner's circle. And then the rider, Fala Buganem, picks up the horse. He's scheduled to ride a horse earlier in the race at a much higher weight, right? And then, you know, and then he picks up this one like it was one of the greatest pickup mounts of the season.
Yep, exactly. And right place, right time, you know, and Salawi able to wire them in the international. I'm so happy the international's back. I hope it comes back next season as well, because it is one of my favorite races. But yet again, regardless of which turf course it is, turf action does not disappoint here at Woodbine.
It's always fun. Yeah, and it's cool to see it now, especially when it's white outside and freezing. It's like, I can't wait to get back on the grass.
Well, I was talking with a friend of mine the other day, and I said, I can't handle it getting dark so early.
Oh, I know.
But the 21st is right around the corner, and then days start to get longer.
Good. That's always a good sign. Yeah.
Very encouraging sign. So thank you to all of you for making our turf season successful, and to all the great horse people that support us as well. I think that is a wrap.
At least for today.
I see horses inside the paddocks. We better wrap her up. When we come back, we'll get you all set for the first of our 9 races on this Friday from the Vine. Stay with us.